Back on, ladies and gentlemen, and ahead of the 2024 battle and amid ongoing assembly polls, trouble mounts for the Congress party as the Enforcement Directorate has widened its probe in the entire National Herald case. The ED has attached 751.9 crore worth of assets in a money laundering investigation involving the National Herald newspaper owned by the Congress-affiliated Young India Limited. The central agency has stated that the probe revealed that Associated Journals Limited, AJL's possession of the proceeds of crime in the form of immovable properties. The ED also stated that a young Indian is in possession of proceeds of crime worth 90.21 crore. The ED has attached 3 properties: AJL House in Mumbai, National Herald House in Delhi, and Nehru Bhavan in Uttar Pradesh's Lucknow. In response, Congress has criticized the ED's actions as petty vendetta tactics and accused the ED of being a coalition partner of the BJP. The party claimed that the BJP is utilizing agencies like the Enforcement Directorate for political purposes, anticipating defeat in the upcoming assembly polls. Meanwhile, the BJP hitting back at the Gandhis, looting Indians and saying that they think freedom fighters' properties are their own, but they are not. Let's go straight across to our guests and hit the debate. Ladies and gentlemen, Tuhin, Sinha, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, Hanumanthaiah, Rajya Sabha MP of the Congress party with us, and AP Singh, former deputy legal advisor to the ED. Namaste and Jai Hind, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much for joining us. AP Singh ji, let me start with you and ask you, is the ED a coalition partner of the ruling disposition?
Hi. Yeah, good evening to all of you. First of all, I would like to make little correction. I am AC Singh, Ashish Chandra Singh.
My apologies, sir.
AC Singh.
I stand corrected. Ashish ji, sorry.
All right.
Go ahead, please.
So, yeah, actually, so far as Prevention of Money Laundering Act is concerned, this money laundering offence is a secondary offence. Primary offence is a scheduled offence which is investigated or in respect of which a criminal complaint had been filed before the magistrate who had taken the cognizance. So one cannot say that any action is in retaliation or against anyone.
Right.
And secondly, number 2, this provisional attachment order is incidental to investigation carried out under PMLA. Actually, under section 5(1), this provisional attachment order is passed. It is passed for a period of 180 days, provided it is confirmed by adjudicating authority, where the aggrieved person will have a right, or his counsel shall have a right to argue the case. So, this is as per scheme propounded under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So, one cannot blame that agencies are doing anything wrong, because the investigation had been carried out since long in this case. So, as and when the investigation is complete, they come across, they find out that a prima facie case is made out, they have reason to believe that the properties are proceeds of crime, then only they take action in accordance with section 5(1), and that action has been taken by Enforcement Directorate.
So, but Ashish Singh ji is explaining it beautifully, Mr. L. Hanumanthaiah. Why is the Congress saying and making all these accusations against the ED? Why is it saying that this is all petty vendetta tactics?
Oh, yeah. There is a case in ED. You have to observe all the cases which has been booked by ED in all the states with regard to the political leaders. For a moment you leave the case of this. I wanted to explain you. See, the ED which has booked, which has confiscated the properties of the opposition party leaders across the country amounts to 98%. And the ruling party MPs, whoever there in the case, as their property is not been confiscated and cases and FIRs are not booked on them. See, now come down to Herald case. Herald case, the legal luminaries of the country have explained and said there is no case in this and there is no money laundering in this. Still, the case is before the court. But the ED confiscated the properties which are inherited by even before independence. Nehru Bhavan in Lucknow was from many years. And there was no money laundering at all. Still, they have confiscated the property. Is it not a head politics and the politics of vengeance? And you take the cases of ED. Any MP or any important person, any opposition leader has been taken into custody, inquire them. After they join BJP, they will become clean and nobody knows what happened to their cases. I can give you a lot of examples on this. When such is the track record of ED, what they are doing today, what they are doing on Sonia ji, Rahul ji, they are the shareholders of that group, which the paper has been started by Nehru, not today. And how can you confiscate the property which has been owned by this trust? This is a separate entity. And anybody who have given donation, is it banned? Giving donation to a particular trust or society, has it been banned as per our laws? And how the ED can say that it is wrong? We will not.
Sir,
Here they have
sir,
questioned
if all of us,
DK Shivkumar.
Sir,
He has just donated.
Sir, if all of us
Pawan
could make,
Bansal,
Hanumanthaiah ji, if you, me, all of us could make
Sir,
such
please-
donations,
please tell me, please tell me.
and could get
Yeah.
could get properties for making such donations which are more than 10x of the actual donation, please let us all go ahead and make such donations. But Tuhin Sinha, how would you want to respond?
No,
that
definitely.
the action is taken around election time,
No,
it is taken only
for
against
such-
opposition.
No, I'll come back to you.
Hanumanthaiah ji, please yield.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
Please yield. Let Tuhin Sinha please, and then you can respond. Yes, Tuhin Sinha. You're targeting only the opposition.
Well, namaste, Anand.
Namaste.
Namaste, Anand. Prima facie, it seems that the National Herald case is a classic manifestation of the Gandhi family's rare abilities at financial fraud, deception, and potential money laundering. You know, 90 crore rupees being given as a loan by a political party to AJL. Number one, is it legally permissible? Number two, was it money laundered, or was it, was it just book entry? So there are several questions which border upon complete fraud. Number one, it is criminal breach of trust towards 1,000 shareholders who were ex-freedom fighters, and who were given, shareholding because of their contribution to India's freedom movement. Overnight, by virtue of, the inception of this shady company called Young India Limited, whose charitable purposes or whose charitable activities we still don't know till now. Overnight, the 1,000 shareholders are reduced to 1% of shareholding, and Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi, who own 76% of that company, acquire or usurp AJL by default by a meager payment of 76 lakhs. So it is a huge financial fraud that involves potential money laundering, and the proceeds of the crime over here is the usurping of properties worth 2,000 crore. So if the proceeds of the crime are partially taken back by the ED is within its rights to do that. What is the problem with that? I think the Gandhi family has a lot to answer over here. The sense of entitlement they come with, I think it is the Congress workers who should be questioning them. Rather, the Congress seems to be supporting this act of personal aggrandizement.
2015, Mr. Hanumanthaiah, this is what the Delhi High Court says. Modus operandi adopted by petitioners evidences criminal intent. And I'm quoting the court, not me, okay? It's not my court. There is a clear case to summon petitioners as accused. Questionable conduct of petitioners needs to be properly examined. The same Delhi High Court 3 years later, AJL asked to vacate Herald House in 2 weeks. Questionable takeover of AJL by Young Indian. Dominant purpose for lease to AJL practically lost. Allegations of malafide are preposterous. Failed to understand how ruling dispensation defamed Nehru. These are the courts, sir. Delhi High Court has said this.
No, I wanted to, I just clarify this. The law of the land has not given the final judgment on the case. Case is there is a Supreme Court, Supreme Court has to spell out, yes, there is a fraud, then whatever you are telling, I can agree.
So that means
But
the
that
Delhi
has not
High
been
Court's
done. It is
verdict does
over.
not
The
stand.
case is not yet over.
The Delhi High Court's verdict, its
No, there
observations
is-
doesn't
see,
stand.
High Court-
The Delhi High Court upholding the charges
No,
against and then
see,
granting
there can
bail
be-
to the
There
accused
can be observations.
does not work.
You
No,
know,
they
the lower
upheld the
courts have
charges and then
observed-
granted bail, sir.
Lower courts have convicted. Lower courts have convicted, but the Supreme Court has released. Supreme Court has given the relief in many cases in
Yeah.
this country.
Correct.
So, why are you taking immediately the High Court
No, but till the time the Supreme
observations
Court
are
decides,
going to be the
till
decisions?
the time the Supreme
Wait.
Court decides, we have
Yes,
to go
at
by
least
the High
wait
Court
for
judgment.
the decision of the Supreme Court.
Till the time the Supreme Court decides,
So
we have
why
to go.
can't you wait for the Supreme Court decision?
Mr. Hanumanthaiah, has the Supreme
which is
Court
the law of
stayed the High
land?
Court's judgment?
Yeah.
Has the Supreme Court stayed the High Court judgment? Has the Supreme Court said that till the time the proceedings are going on and we are hearing of the proceedings, the High Court judgment does not stand? It's not said anything like that. Till the time the matter is not
No,
decided
there
by
will
the
be a
top
final-
court, the Delhi
there
High
will
Court
be a
judgment
final
stands.
judgment.
No, and,
Please
no,
wait
no,
for that.
and I'm going to request
You
Ashish
please
Singh ji
wait
to
for
please
the judgment.
respond to the tone that you have used against the ED and the allegations that you have made against the ED, Mr. Hanumanthaiah. I will request Mr. Ashish Singh to respond to that. Ashish ji.
Yeah. First and foremost, I would like to point out that so far as these proceedings are concerned, attachment proceedings, they are quasi-criminal in nature. And once the proceedings have taken place, then the opposite side will have ample opportunity to appear and argue the case. Number two, as Mr. Hanumanthaiah was alleging, that only why at this juncture such action has been taken. With regard to that, I would like to point out that the proceedings under PMLA Act, they are time-bound proceedings. They are not like that for years together it goes on. Because once attachment order has been passed by virtue of section 83A of PMLA, within 365 days the ED has to file the prosecution complaint before a special court. Otherwise, the entire attachment shall lapse. It shall die its own death. So, my submission is, my view is that they have taken, when they have completed the investigation qua those properties and they came across that these properties are proceeds of crime, they took action. Now it ball is in their court because as per scheme propounded under PMLA, within 30 days from the date of attachment order, ED is required to file OC. It is called original complaint before adjudicating authority constituted under section 6 of the PMLA. And thereafter, the party will get an opportunity to file their reply. Thereafter, the adjudicating authority shall invite them to argue. ED counsel will remain there and opposite side aggrieved person counsel will be there. And after being satisfied, the adjudicating authority may confirm or may not confirm. If any action has been taken which is not in accordance with law, the adjudicating authority is a quasi-judicial body. It is
Correct.
distinct and different from enforcement directorate. So, this is altogether untenable by alleging all these things.
Right.
Instead, they should approach to the court, they should approach with clean hands before the court of law and seek remedy as per their advice.
Mr. Hanumanthaiah and then Tuhin Sinha.
Yes, we are doing it. We are doing it. Our legal team is on the job. We are doing it. We are hoping that we are going to get the justice in the higher court. And ED, I am just talking the track record of ED, what they are doing. And I don't know, many a times the courts have questioned ED's actions in many cases. Likewise, this case also, they will be questioned and we will get the remedy in the higher court. I am hopeful there is no fraud in this case. It is only an allegation. It is an allegation just because the Gandhi family is involved in that, just because the Congress party is doing in this, is a part of this case. So I am very, very clearly telling you, this case, the Congress party will win.
So, okay, the Congress party will
We will
win.
win the case. There is no doubt about
The
it.
Congress party will win. So then we should use this Congress model of acquiring and running newspapers and acquiring properties.
You know, Anand, it is very
That
sad.
will be
let
questioned
Mr.
by the
Tuhin
court
Sinha
and when
respond.
they
Let
say-
Mr. Tuhin
justify-
Sinha-
No, I must.
No,
please,
Hanumanthaiah,
please,
Mr.
one second,
Hanumanthaiah,
one
you cannot
second, one
cannibalize.
second.
You cannot
no,
cannibalize. You
don't
cannot
barge in like
cannibalize others talk
Have
time.
some manners.
I said, Mr. Tuhin Sinha, yield. Then I'll come back to you, sir.
No,
Please, please. I request you.
You know, Anand,
Yes,
it
please.
is very sad to see the average Congress worker justify this, this encroachment or this acquiring, this illegal acquiring of public property by a family through an act of conspiracy. Mind you, the entire process of the formation of Young India Limited, which remains a shady organization 8 years after its inception, was a conspiracy to acquire public property, which was a legacy of freedom fighters by a family. So I think, this kind of a criminal act, if it is condoned by the average Congress worker, that shows what the Congress party has come to. It is very shameful that they themselves
let
should
me
be
ask
standing
you.
up against it and against the family which did it.
Correct. If it's so glaring and if it is so open and shut that someone like a Dr. Subramanian Swamy could argue this court case in the Delhi High Court and get the kind of observations from the Delhi High Court in 2015, then Tuhin Sinha, my question to you is, sir, 2015 to 2023, 8 saal ho gaye, sir, 2 terms are over. Of the government.
Anand, if you ask me, ideally,
so there is something
you
called super
ideally-
slow-mo in cricket,
No, I
but
agree
this
with
beats
you.
even super slow-mo by 100 super slow-mos.
I agree with you. People like Hemant Soren, Lalu Yadav and Rahul Gandhi should have been in jail by now. So I'm equally surprised why it has taken so much time, but this shows that, we don't have much control over the working of the ED. They have their own processes, they have their own, backlogs to clear. But yes, I mean,
So this
all of
is-
these three
this
cases
is- this
involving
is-
the land for jobs,
this is-
the land
this
for
is-
jobs scam, the Jharkhand mining case,
This
and
is-
this case are so
this is the
direct
classic-
that sooner than later the culprit should land in jail.
This is the classic dhol, Ashish Singh ji. Opposition says government is controlling you. Government says we have no control about ED. We can't answer for why it has taken such a long time. So ये तो ढोल के दोनों तरफ से ED को ही बज रहा है.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
No, there, Ashish ji.
Yeah,
It-
I would like to point out that
Ji.
so far as these investigations are under PMLA are concerned, these investigations are very cumbersome. Because of this thing, so many bulk of documents are to be examined, each and every page has to be read, then only, because these are financial crimes. And Supreme Court has time and again said that conventional crimes are not so heinous in comparison to these financial crimes, because they are committed with cool and calculated mind.
Right.
So therefore, it is but natural that proper investigation is done. It is to be done
It
in
takes time.
accordance
It
with
takes
law.
time. It takes time.
Otherwise-
Ashish ji, I have run out of time, so I have
Yeah,
to
it takes
respectfully
time, no doubt.
interrupt you and wind this proceedings up on the right stand tonight. But it takes time, but it also tests your patience, ladies and gentlemen. If there is an act of corruption, it should be punished. Otherwise, there should not be use of government machinery for intimidation. The jury is out. We are also out here out of the right stand. Zakir Jacob ready with brass tacks.